Hello and welcome to my channel. Today we will weave a decorative plate. All the information regarding making and preparing the paper rods is in the description to this video. All the paper rods that will be used for weaving the center of the plate, including the spokes, should be properly moisturized and cured. Take 24 weavers and lay them out this way. Make sure the size of these three sections is the same. In case with my plate, it's approximately 2.5 centimeters. Connect two weavers butt to butt, fold them, put them around any group of spokes and weave 3 rows of the 2-rod twine. Connect the weavers as needed, making sure the places of connection are located at the back side of the plate. I have completed 3 rounds of the 2-rod twine. Trim the weavers and poke them into the weave. Flip the weave over to poke the weavers in properly. For the next step, I recommend using the nylon fishing line 1 mm in diameter. It will ensure the curves are smooth. I bought this fishing line on AliExpress.com, but it's also available on other platforms, such as Amazon. Cut 16 pieces of the fishing line, each piece equaling to the length of your paper rod, in my case it's 27 centimeters, and insert these pieces of the fishing line into the weavers starting from the tip ends of the rods. We've got 8 groups of weavers, with 6 rods in each group. For illustration purposes, I will assign the numbers to the rods in each group in the following way. The next step of weaving will consist of repeating the same pattern for each group. First, I will show you this pattern graphically, and then we will move on to the actual weaving. So, we start from replacing the weavers number 1 and 2 with the other weavers having the fishing line inside. Then, we place the weavers with the fishing line over the weavers number 3, 4, 5 and 6 in group number 1, then over the weavers number 1, 2, 3 and 4 in group number 2, under the weavers number 5 and 6 in group number 2, run them over the weave and through the hole in the middle of the weave and lead them out from the underneath, alternatively either in the center or at the corner. Starting at any group of the weavers, connect 2 rods with the fishing line inside to the weavers number 1 and 2 in any given group. Pull the connected weavers towards yourself so that the places where the weavers are connected were not visible at the front side of the weave. It will ensure the weave looks nice and tidy. Flip it over and connect the regular weavers without the fishing line inside. Flip it over again. Repeat the same step 7 more times, always moving clockwise to the next group of the weavers. We have only one group of the weavers left. In order to pull the connected weavers towards yourself, the way we did it in the previous 7 groups, we will need to pull these 2 rods out and then weave them back in. Tighten everything up, making sure all the loops with the fishing line inside look the same. Connect 2 weavers butt to butt, fold them, put around any pair of spokes and weave 2 rounds of the 2-rod twine. In the 3rd row, start weaving around 1 spoke at a time and weave several rounds. I wove 4 rows. Put the plastic straw on the weavers to keep the moisture in and trim the old spokes. I use the shear cutter. Take 24 dry rods, cut them in half at an acute angle and use them for replacing the old spokes. Remove the plastic straws and weave another round of the 2-rod twine. Now we need to step up to the next row, which will be the 3-rod twine. Move the weaver coming out from behind the spoke to the left out of the way. Place the other weaver behind the following spoke and out. Return the first weaver to its original position. Take the third weaver, fold it, and place behind the next spoke and out to the front. Start weaving the 3-rod twine by placing the leftmost weaver over the other 2 weavers, behind the spoke and out to the front. We have reached the first spoke, where we started a 3-rod twine. At this point, take the rightmost weaver, place it in front of the 2 neighboring spokes, behind the third one, and out to the front. Repeat the same step with the remaining 2 weavers. The row is completed. The next row will also be the 3-rod twine. However, it will be woven differently. Take the leftmost weaver, wrap it around spoke number 3, place it behind spoke number 4 and out to the front. Continue weaving in the same manner. When you need to connect the weavers, make sure the connection is made behind the spoke. This is the first option for connecting the weavers in this pattern. The connection is not visible at the front. And this is the second option for connecting the weavers. We have wrapped the weavers around all the spokes. Take the middle weaver and poke it under the already woven rod. Use the knitted needle if necessary. Now take the rightmost weaver and poke it under 2 already woven rods. The row is completed. Trim the rods as close to the weave as possible using the shear cutter. Weave one more round of the 3-rod twine to make the pattern look symmetrical. Take 3 weavers, bend them, and place behind 3 consecutive spokes and out to the front. Weave one round of the 3-rod twine. I have reached the first spoke marked with a piece of green masking tape. Step up to the next row in the same manner as it was done at another round of the 3-rod twine earlier, that is, start from the rightmost weaver. Poke the rightmost weaver under 2 already woven rods and trim it. Use the remaining 2 weavers to make several rounds of the 2-rod twine. I wove 7 rounds, and now I need to replace the old spokes with the new moisturized and cured weavers, which will be used for making the border. Put the plastic straws on the newly added spokes to preserve the moisture. Weave 1 or 2 rows of the 2-rod twine. Finish the last row by trimming the weavers and poking them into the weave. The last step is making a border. Lift up the weave by placing it onto something high so that the weavers will not touch the table. I placed it on a waist twisting disc, then on a metal box, and on a round piece of plywood, but you can use whatever you have at hand. Remove the plastic straws from several weavers, take a piece of the spare weaver, place it under the first weaver and out to the top. Bend the first weaver under the second one and out to the top. Bend the second weaver in the same manner. Take the first weaver again and place it over weaver number 3, under weaver number 4 and out to the top. Trim the weaver and poke it into the weave next to the spoke. Take weaver number 3 and place it under weaver number 4 and out to the top. Trim the weaver and poke it into the weave. Continue weaving the border in the same manner up until you reach the very first spoke. I have reached the first spoke with a piece of spare rod next to it. Remove the spare rod and replace it with a weaver. Keep placing the weavers as before. When you have only one weaver left, poke it in between two already woven rods the way I show. Flip the weave over, trim the weaver, and poke it into the weave. Now you need to prime the plate. The link to the video where I explain why priming is important and how to do it is at the top right corner of the screen. The decorative plate is ready.